So welcome back to the Olympic Sports Centre here in Changzhou. Changzhou, an ancient city. There was a settlement on this site dating all the way back to the start of the Qing dynasty. And as far as our next match is concerned, it features the world number ones in the women's doubles. So having just seen the world number one in the men's singles, we have the world number ones in the women's doubles. Yuki Fukushima and Sayaka Hirota are up against a young Chinese pair, Dong Wenjing and Feng Shiying. Now, when we look at the draw, of course, it's the top section of the draw. And if the number one seeds were to win, we'll have a repeat of the World Championship final at quarter-final stage, because the world champions Matsumoto and Nagahara are already through against the Koreans Kim and Kong. Interesting, Tang Jinhua, who you can see there, she's been in 5 finals here with 5 different partners. This year with Yu Xiao Han, and they're up against the Asian Games gold medalists Chen Qingcheng and Jia Yifan, an all Chinese second round clash there. So as far as the young Chinese pair are concerned, hoping to get through to a second World Tour quarter-final, but the only previous World Tour they've been in a quarter-final, that was the US Open, which was a Super 300 event. Of course, this a Super 1000 event. Five different levels of World Tour tournaments. Top level being
okay, Dong, we have a red
World
and
Tour
black.
finals.
Red, the black will be for you. It is
So
black.
the first meeting.
Service, who serve? Thank you. Which side today? This side? Who will receive? Home.
Arthur Zeluzhnoi from Estonia are on par for this one. Sayaka Hirota, who turned 24 last month. She and her partner, twice silver medalists at the World Championships in Glasgow. They lost to Chen Qingcheng and Jia Yifan. And of course, in Nanjing, recently to teammates Matsumoto and Nagahara. What a thrilling final it was. I know Steen and I have talked about it, but Steen and I both feel it was probably the best final at the World Championships, the all-Japanese women's doubles affair. They are world number ones. This is their 9th week in total as world number ones, a 7th consecutive week. And they beat Ahwanda and Istarani of Indonesia in a match yesterday, first round match. They were 14-17 down in that deciding game and 18-20 down. In fact, saved a total of 4 match points before winning through. So to Feng Shiying from Guangdong province in the south of China. Up 3 places on the world ranking today, to 72, which is the highest they've ever been. And her partner Dong Wenjing is a year older at the age of 20. So their world ranking, only 7 tournaments towards their world ranking, so it's not really realistic yet. In the first round, they beat Linda Effler and Isabel Hertrick from Germany, 2 straight games. As we look at our court officials for this, FUKUSHIMA and HIROTA. They really have had an exceptional season so far. 6 finals from 10 tournaments played, winning 4 titles, including their home event last week in Tokyo, the Japan Super 750. The 2 finals they've been in, the All England, the first of the Super 1000 events, and then the World Championships. So an incredible year for them.
Sort of development and evaluation perspective, they should regard the World Championships as if they've won, because they lost by errors the margin in the 3rd game. So
ladies and gentlemen,
due to luck,
on my right,
mostly due to luck.
Yeah.
Beijing, FUKUSHIMA, China.
Called good
And on my left,
gold
Yuki
medal.
FUKUSHIMA, Sayaka HIROTA, Japan. Yuki FUKUSHIMA to serve to Feng Shuing. Wow. Play.
So the #1 seeds from Japan, Yuki FUKUSHIMA and Sayaka HIROTA, far side of the court, getting a 2nd round match underway. Actually making their 2nd appearance here in Changzhou. They played this event when it was a Grand Prix Gold 2 years ago. Reached the quarter-final stage before losing to Della Destiara Harris and Rosita Ikaputrisari in 3 games. And talking of development, as you were just a moment ago, Steen, I mean, what a development since their quarter-final here 2 years ago. Think what they've achieved since then. Super Series title. Yeah. 2 World Championship finals. World #1s. It's amazing. Uber Cup winners.
Service over.
That tournament.
2-all.
I tried to feel, I've never seen this Chinese pair play before, so I tried to sort of get an idea of what we can expect for them, from them, and in terms of that, it's nice to see who they've beat and who they've lost to, and they beat the Danish 3rd doubles with Ricky Soby and Julie Finne Ibsen in those 2-game match, 21-19, 21-19. Lost to Emily Lefel and Tran, the European silver medalist, and Jessica Duputh and Lauren Smith and so on. So for Europeans, it's like maybe 3 to 6 on the European level. That would be the level that they've played to so far in this year.
Yeah.
So we should expect the Japanese pair to be rather convincing favorites.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, completely missed it. Fresh air shot.
And she's not the only one who's done that today. We saw one of the most experienced players, Liliana Nasir.
It's going long.
That's a drift.
Yeah.
6-2.
Yeah. Well done. You know, Steen, we've never actually had a Japanese women's doubles pair in the final of this event in Changzhou. And that's interesting when you consider that the women's singles final last year was an all-Japanese women's singles final.
It was?
Ahoy against Kawakami.
7-3.
I think Ohori lost earlier on today to Yamaguchi, didn't she?
Just some minutes ago, 3 games.
Yeah.
8-3.
Yeah, it's clever placement, aimed towards that right hip. That's the one that set up the whole rally. I like the fact she was trying to change the pace.
Yes.
That's a lovely shot from HIROTA. Yeah, and then finishes off the rally. But that little half-court push towards the tram line was super. Yeah, to the mid-game interval with an 8-point advantage, and it's all happened in double quick time. A little over 5 minutes.
这界外追求界外多少？你别着急，慢点，别着急，慢一点。每个球出了球之前慢一点，商量着急什么？啊？正常打，你着急干嘛？罗尼啊，你抢让冯颖杀一下。
你往前尽量去跟他抢，压了以后你就贴住，先挡，先抢，先往下走。不先动起来，动起来，往后也不行。像火苗那样就
后场有很多球都界外球，你看着点，别着急，别着急。
So the two Chinese coaches, Pan Li and Tao Xiaoming, who won the mixed doubles title here in 2009 with, do you remember? It would be very surprising. She really just concentrated on women's doubles. I think it may have been her only mixed doubles title.
Zhao Qingqing?
No.
No.
Wang Xiaoli.
12-3.
It's interesting, Steen, because I've just mentioned that no Japanese women's doubles pair has ever been in the final here in Changzhou. You compare that to Chinese women's doubles dominance in this event. They've won 12 of the last 13. This is only the 14th time we've had this event in Changzhou. 12 of the 13 women's doubles titles.
I know who won the last one. It was with Marisa and Liliana Nasir.
That's right. First year that it was a Super Series, 2007.
It was the first time for a long, long time that a foreign pair had won a women's doubles tournament in China.
Yes. Yep. You're correct.
Service over.
And it's interesting because, I mean, I hadn't really noticed this pair, and we can see that it's the national coaches. It's Pan Li and Tao Jiaming who's coaching, so it's not like it's some of the B-team players that are in the tournament here. And last week in Tokyo, I really got the impression that the Chinese women's doubles were a little bit bouncing back. They had 3 quarterfinalists, with the most of any country. Japan only had 2. After a disastrous World Championship on home soil, where they didn't medal in women's doubles, they won the Asian Games title through Chen Qingchen and Jia Yifan and played well in Japan. And now here, Du Yue and Li Yinghui, who played really well last week and impressed me last week, they lost to the now best Danish combination of Sara Thysse and Maiken Forgaard. That's a great result for the Danes, but a little bit disappointing for the Chinese that they were not able to follow up on the performance last week. So still work in progress, in my opinion, the Chinese women's doubles department.
Yes, and when I started my research this morning in preparation for these matches, they were the 8th ranked women's doubles pair on the world ranking. By the time I finished my research, because the world ranking got published, they're the 7th highest ranked pair. But they're both youngsters. I mean, it's obviously a pair that the Chinese coaches think can develop and go a long way. Do you see that? Do you see the potential?
Not really, not really. But I've been wrong so many times before. So they see them obviously every day in practice and see them play the other Chinese players and stuff like that. But here in the beginning, one of the things that I look for is the defense, because it's so important in women's doubles. It's not that you can win on the defense, but you can't play without it. And they haven't impressed me now. They're playing up against the drifts where it's difficult to get the correct length and stuff like that. But
oh, that's a super return from Fukushima.
I mean, it doesn't look likely. We could be, I could be in big trouble if they win the last 2 games here, but it doesn't look likely that they stand just ahead of their big breakthrough.
I have to say that Feng, when she played in the India Open, the Super 500 event, it was her very first international tournament, so she's had very little international experience.
That's perhaps the thing that you have to figure out. You have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
The Chinese team and saying, hey, now these are the players we work with, and that's what you can't really see here. You can't see how is their work ethics. Have they progressed? Are they putting on layer after layer, month after month? Because that's of course what the coaches that are working with them every day, they can see that, and if that's the case, of course it's a perfectly good choice.
Yeah.
That's actually, in my opinion, one of the most important things. Do you have players that can learn, that can develop, that dares to try new things, dares to get a little bit worse for a while whilst you're trying a new thing before you get it to work?
Yeah. Yeah, and that does take courage.
Game point 7.
So game point opportunities, a whole host of them for the world number ones. It's gone long. 21-7 opening game.
First game won by
In a little over 12 minutes, my goodness me, that really was double quick time.
着急，人定一点，防守沙有多重啊？是这个重还是比谁重啊？ 防不住啊，站稳了。跟这种朋友打还有超。
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds.
I'm pretty certain that the Japanese coaches Kai Nakajima and Satoko Sutsuna will be very happy with their players after that opening game. And of course, if the #1 seeds, Fukushima and HIROTA, get through this match and win one of the next 2 games, the Japanese coaches presumably will have a day off as far as the women's doubles is concerned. I know last week in Japan they had their club coaches involved when both players or pairs on the opposite side of the net were from the host nation. But here, presumably, they've only got the national coaches, and the national coaches presumably won't show any favouritism. Steen, I was interested in your comment in the opening game, during the opening game, when I asked about potential and whether you saw the potential in this Chinese women's doubles pair. And you said that you looked for defensive qualities, which is essential in women's doubles. Is that the only thing you really look for, or do you look for that instinctiveness?
Yes.
I'm sure earlier on you would have been talking about Liliana Nasir's instinctive play at the front of the court in the mixed doubles discipline. Do you look for that in women's doubles as well?
Definitely. The ability to score points. I mean, how can this be set up so that we can actually win points? But their opponents, the 2-time silver medalists, they're a really good example that you can't really, it's really, really difficult to judge from just watching a pair. You have to work with them, and you have to work with them over time, because they've played for at least 5 years together, HIROTA and Fukushima, and in the beginning, they weren't that good.
No.
They lost first-round matches. They didn't win tournaments. So suddenly, all the work that they'd done started to pay off. So as a metaphor, you could say that the roots of the tree should be really, really strong before it can sort of withstand all kinds of weather, drought or windy solutions or flooding. So you work on the root level for a very long time, and then eventually you get the payoff in terms of beautiful flowers, as a metaphor.
Yeah. What a great analogy.
Yeah, I've worked on it all night.
It's good awareness from Fukushima. That's the sort of instinctive play to which I was alluding to. That awareness of where the gap is.
And one of the things we've been talking about, also last week we talked about it as a slow hall, slow stadium, and this week it's a fast stadium. It took, what did it take, 14 minutes the first game? 12. So to illustrate it, last week, the first round of women's doubles, the average match time there was 39 minutes, a little bit, actually 39.5 minutes per match in the first round of a Super 750 tournament.
Yeah.
Basically the same pairs that are here this week. And the first round play this week, the average match time was 32 minutes.
Yeah, so quite a difference, 7 minutes.
7 minutes shorter on average.
Yeah.
That means that there's differences in playing conditions, speed of shuttles, and so on. So I think that's a great example to that that we've been talking about so much.
Yeah.
Service over. 8-4.
Yeah, it's just long.
9-4.
Oh my goodness, that's a fabulous shot.
10-4.
So it's a 7-point advantage here in the second game at the mid-game interval. Just 20 minutes played altogether. 20 minutes not played because we've had 3 minutes of intervals already.
ね、球つく結構いいよ。あとここちょっと1分忘れたけど、ここもっとしっかり振れるようにね。ここ覚えてて全然大丈夫よ。
スマッシュがちょっと慣れてきた時にドロップとかちょっとこう緩急を使った球で前衛に捕まえらせるっていうのをちょっと入れて。
top seeds, a nice match for the top seeds to have here in the second round of this China Open, because
Court 1, 20 seconds.
they've had a tough schedule as well. They've faced some disappointments in the World Championship final and the Asian Games semi-final. Came back, won the Japan Open, but looked a little bit tired towards the end of that tournament. And a match like this that sort of seems to go really smooth, that can help you produce another good result in one of these big tournaments here.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice change of pace.
12-4.
Yeah, I was very, very interested about your comments last week. You said the way that this Japanese pair had conducted themselves since the disappointment of the World Championships and the Asian Games, and the way that they had bounced back. And
they came out there and was the ones that were most keen to win.
yes,
That was really strong mental performance in my
yeah,
opinion.
yeah, very impressive. Look, couldn't agree with you more. Goodness. Well, Fukushima missed it, and somehow HIROTA got it back. And there's that one there. That was extraordinary. good rally. Yes, best rally of the match. Well left. It's got to be the longest rally of the match so far as well. Now, I did like early on in that rally the fact that Feng Shuiying intercepted a couple at the net, and that's the instinctive sort of hunting the shuttle that's...
There were some signs that
yeah,
it could become good at some point.
Yeah. Well, that rally was indeed the longest so far, 48 shots.
It's important now for Fukushima and Hirota to sort of maintain a high enough level so that they don't bring themselves into any kind of trouble here, because, I mean, Dong and Feng, they will, of course, play with everything they've got to make the scoreline a little bit more respectable. All the practice they can get out of this match.
Oh, that's clever. Yeah. But I like the thought process. Obviously, there's a slice there. She's gone for an acute angle. Then she went for a flat smash, obviously too flat and going long of the back line. Yeah, well judged. But I like the fact that she was trying to mix it up.
Yeah.
That goes down as a service error.
16-8. Service over. 9-16.
Oh, that was going out. It's another long rally. And this, to me, is a good sign, Steve, from the Chinese youngsters.
They can play rallies.
Yeah, and they've worked themselves into the match. I know the scoreline says they're not into the match, but they're into the rallies.
Yeah.
And now, yeah, it is the longest rally by one shot. Yeah, HIROTA going forward.
17-10.
Oh, that's a lovely backhand. Oh, well, the call came from her partner to leave it. And it was clearly in. Look at that. It's gone long. Hitting with the drift. error from Dong Wenjing. And it means it's match point opportunities for the world number ones. Missed it. There. A wry smile from Sayaka Hirota. I think there's been some signs, Steen, that this young Chinese pair, certainly if they get more experience at the Super 300s and before moving on to the Super 500s, I think could prove to be a very good, useful, solid pair.
Yeah, and that's also sometimes we think a little bit too much in top 5.
Yeah.
Where can you actually say that someone after playing 6 tournaments on the World Tour whether they will be top 5 or not when they're youngsters and haven't really played in finals? That's very difficult. But, you can see that there's a whole lot of Japanese pairs to get through.
So 21-12, the second game in favour of the number 1 seeds. 30 minutes in duration. But I think we will see more and more of this Chinese young pair, but certainly not in the same class as the world number 1s. Not yet. 21-7, 21-12 in 30 minutes of play.